My mom's calling. Hey, Mom, we're recording, so I'll call you back. Wait, tell me again.
It was so fun.
Yeah,
so
we all got to listen to it.
Aww.
It was really just, you guys hit all the right marks.
Did we?
Great.
Good.
Aw, thanks,
Yeah,
Mom.
sounded good. All right, carry on.
Thanks.
Bye.
That's all. Love you. Bye.
Well, they're just having so much fun.
I'm very jealous having FOMO. And as always, this episode is presented by Legends Attic. They have an amazing event coming up on May 30th that we're so excited about.
I mean, not only do we get Joe Davis, but it's also their 1 year anniversary, which means this is going to be a bigger party than when I have my phone because we just got the text of everyone who's going to be attending.
And it's not even everyone.
I mean, it's really not, but it's so many.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Orel's going to host ESPN, the live broadcast, which is always great. We've got Joe Davis, the Freddie Freeman Grand Slam Ball. Dave Holbrook will be painting and signing books. Rick Monday, Steve Sachs, the great Peter O'Malley. I know.
Oh, I can't wait to meet him.
Hall of Fame, Jaime Harin,
Oh,
our
yay!
guy. I know. Chargers draft pick Kyle Kennard. Talk Dodgers to me.
Woo, woo.
And Dodgers Nation. And they say, and more.
So I'm
guys,
so excited for that
I'm
day.
excited.
So make sure you get your tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Secure that. Let us know if you're going. We'll be there. We'll be podcasting and walking around, meeting all you guys. Oh, I'm really excited for that. Their 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And like I said, they do events beautifully. And I think this one's turning into something a little extra special. So I really hope you come out. Come see us. Come see that. The Legends Addict is beautiful enough.
I know. So make sure you're following all of us on social media. Stay tuned for more info about the event, but you can secure your ticket on their website now.
Thanks.
And now to the episode. I just want somebody to talk Dodgers to me.
Why does it feel like months are in between each recording?
The weeks are getting real long because we're doing so much during the days.
I guess, but
Right?
you'd think that would make things fly.
It's only been a week since we sat in these chairs,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's been forever.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But we have a lot of things to catch
we
everyone
have
up
a
on.
lot to talk about.
I know.
Where do we even begin?
What was the last game we left off on? Miami.
I don't know, but-
Miami there. So we've talked about that.
Miami is like ages ago.
I know. Okay, well then after that was Arizona, and we have some great pointers on that one.
Well, until we get into that, welcome back to Talk Dodgers to Me. I am Melissa Meyer,
And I'm Jaclyn Ruiz.
and we have a lot to talk to you about today. So let's just get right into it.
Let's just start this one off in a bang. Ohtani's walk-off.
Oh, okay. That might be, I don't know. There's so many favorite Ohtani moments. And after the Miami series, I did watch the highlights of him with his 10 RBI night, his 50-50, went back, watched the 40-40. Something Dave Roberts said really stuck with me. And, you know, they always talk about like who's the best player in baseball of all time. And Dave Roberts made the point of he's the best player he's ever seen because of moments like that. That he's about to hit 40-40 and he hits a grand slam.
Yeah, he doesn't
You know?
just like
50-50 is a home run. It's like, oh, he kept saying he's very clutch, and that's what makes him the best player of all time and best player that he's ever seen.
he gives me Kobe Bryant energy like no other, and I haven't felt that in so long. And like, just not only are you coming through for the city and for the team, but it's like he does it in this way where you're just like jaw is on the floor and your like stomach has butterflies and you're just like in this moment.
And he was really giving Kobe this last home run when he trolled Yuri Gurriel.
I cannot believe it.
That was such an amazing moment. I loved seeing him just do that.
I know.
I loved it.
I mean, he's the most respectful player in the MLB. It's talked about so much. And like, it's almost like someone poked the bear.
You know what? I think he's so, like, he loves his team so much. He loves every one of those guys. And if he sees anyone getting disrespected, he's going to stand up for them. And that is what he did to me. But like, he does it in the most flawless, graceful way.
Yeah.
Because he spot on did every movement that Yuri Gurriel did, from, you know, putting his hands up to then like the fist pump to his coach on first base to then Dino Ebel on third, and how he came home. Like, it was spot on, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah, that was good. What a guy. I just love him.
That was way better than going to the game last night and watching us get destroyed by the Athletics.
Man, last night was, okay, I can't even say it was flat because the stadium really was alive. I think everyone was so excited to be back. I think everyone missed him. 10 days felt like forever. I mean, so long.
I'm giving our guys a little grace because of their 10-day road trip. That was full of extra innings and rain delays and Mother's Day and
Easter. Was it an Easter one? No, that was a long time ago.
That was a while ago, but throw it in there. Birthdays, Tommy Edmonds' birthday.
Yeah.
Hope he's doing okay. Can't wait to have him back.
I think he's coming back. I looked at the update on him and Teo, and it's supposed to be mid-May, which we're here.
Great.
So within the next couple of games, I think they'll be back.
Oh, good, because it seems like more and more guys are getting placed on the IL, and it's like we need more guys to come back off the IL.
Yeah.
But you kept asking me yesterday if I thought that the team was flat or the stadium was. The stadium was rocking. We're really trying. I feel like the audience was trying to get the guys into it, but maybe they were just tired.
I mean, think about it. I feel like one day, I get it, they have to do it, but it's just not enough. Like, it's just enough to get more tired. I feel like it just isn't enough sleep. They just kind of weren't. I just don't think it was enough time for them. So they were a little flat. But that's okay. They didn't really look like they were playing bad. It just like wasn't really happening.
We weren't really hitting.
Yeah.
And the Athletics were.
Yeah.
They were just getting knocks off of Knack, who did not seem to be leaning as much as he normally does.
No, he didn't. And then when we zoned in, we like saw the lean for a second.
I was really waiting for it. Do you know the Friends episode where Chandler is like, "This is where I lean"? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, someone out there listening does.
I know. Well, I'm sure everyone. I'm really bad at that. I'm just going to tell you now. I have watched all Friends so many times. I mean, we used to watch it on vacations when we'd come in from the lake. We'd throw on like 4 episodes, and Seinfeld. But I'm just not that person who like hears a song and remembers it or remembers a quote. Like, everyone knows I'm really bad at movie quotes. If I try to do one, I'll probably really mess it up. But it ends up being like just me, and it's funny. But yeah, so I'll probably say no to that. But just keep coming, because
I can relate anything to a Friends episode, and it comes to my mind instantly, and I have to almost hold myself back from saying it every single time. But that was when they hired a cleaner, and she came, and Monica thought that she stole her jeans and then stole her bra. So she sent Chandler on a mission to see her bra that had like a rip here, and her pants had a stain, and so he's leaning over to check out like her jeans, and she turns around and he's like, "This is where I lean." Okay, moving on.
Oh man. I saw that Daniel Hudson came back and they gave him his ring.
I loved that.
I was in a different transition. I didn't really know too much about him. Do you know a lot about him?
I love Daniel Hudson, and I was so happy to see him come back and get his ring. Yeah, he was one of the veteran guys last season and was with us for the past couple of seasons, but it seems like his career has just been plagued with injuries. And he's had like 14 surgeries, something like that.
Wow.
I'm reading about him right now, but I know you want to read the book too, so I'll wait to share my thoughts on it. But the book, The Arm, he's one of the guys that it follows because he's had, so many surgeries. But he's such a good guy, and I know the bullpen guys all look up to him. And he was really willing to like blow out his arm completely last season if they needed him. But fortunately, Bueller shut things down.
Oh, Bueller.
But also there was an amazing moment last season that I really thought was a momentum shift for the guys when we played the Mets. And I think we just weren't hitting. Things weren't going well. We were kind of like hitting like this stagnancy. And he went back in the dugout and to remind the team that we're the effing Dodgers.
Oh. Did they write about
he did this. He like shushed the crowd and then he walked back in and it was like, we are the Dodgers or something like that.
Wow.
I know.
And this was during the series?
Yeah, last season.
Where did they highlight this? How do you know?
I know everything.
Okay, well,
it happened during the game.
I trust you. I want to see it.
I'll find a video.
Okay.
Don't you remember us talking about that last season?
Vaguely.
Oh my gosh. One of our former Dodgers had quite a walk-off double hit for your Cubs last night.
Yep.
Justin
Anything
Turner.
to add to that? Do you love Justin Turner more now?
Did he get the nickname? What was his nickname for the longest time? Because it should have been Redbeard, because he looks like a pirate. Looks like he should be a pirate.
A pirate?
A pirate. Not
You think everyone looks like a pirate?
Not a Pittsburgh pirate, a literal pirate.
Oh. I just
He
don't know
does
if I
not.
look at him and think that.
No.
It's Big Red.
Big Red.
No. Redbeard. It should be Redbeard.
Redbeard.
He should come to the stadium in a giant overcoat with a bunch of buttons and a sash across his waist and a sword and maybe a hat.
I do not understand where you're getting
Redbeard
from.
Redbeard was a pirate, a famous
Oh.
pirate.
Oh.
A famous
Did he
pirate?
look like Justin Turner?
He was either Redbeard or black. I know there was a Blackbeard. There must have been a Redbeard.
Well, you know that people come to the stadium with red beards who love Justin Turner. That's a thing.
Yeah, they even did it in Tokyo, which was so cute.
Mm-hmm. But I was really happy for him, and there was a really cute video going around of Pete Crow Armstrong playing with Bo, baby Bo.
Yeah, Bo did not look interested.
We had, I guess, I was listening to Dodger Talk, and another former Dodger was involved in a walk-off game last night too, but it was Kenley Jansen, and he gave up a home run to Fernando Tatis Jr., and they won the game. So I didn't want to see that. I'd want Kenley to win that battle.
Yeah. From afar, the A's or the Athletics, they like almost mimicked the Padres. Like sometimes I would see the Padre jersey.
Oh,
And
because
then I
they
would
were so
notice the
similar?
green. Yeah.
I was really impressed with them, and I know that when I interviewed Steve Sachs, he was saying that they're a really good team, and I was just like, oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they played really well last night. But it's also like everyone's gonna play their best baseball against us.
Right. But I don't think we really showed them our best pitching.
No.
Yeah. And I mean, there was factors that made it all kind of happen, but yeah, they showed up ready to play. I'm sure they had so much to prove.
11-1, unacceptable. And on Mookie's bobblehead night,
I know. It's Sam Smith. Will Smith threw someone out at second, and you're like, this is the momentum shift. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Then you're like, just something like that can switch the whole game. And then it literally, I know. And then it was just like, nope, another hit. Nope, another run. And we're just like, oh, that was heartbreaking.
it's like when we lost 16-0. I'm used to being the 16, not the 0. I'm used to being the 11, not the 1.
It was fun last night to run into that couple that we met at spring training.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the spring training picture? She DM'd me. I sent her the ones from last night. I sent them to you too, but I don't know where the spring training one is.
Did we take it or did she?
I don't know. I guess she did.
Yeah, it was fun running into her. We saw some other friends, brought some new friends to the game.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good time.
But we also did a lot of cool things this past week. We watched the pregame show at Spectrum Sportsnet LA.
On Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a fun experience to just see the back end of things.
It really was. And just to see how the show is done and run.
Yeah. I mean, with a podcast type vibe, you know, we like to have structure for ourselves and things like that, but we don't necessarily like have a run of the show or anything crazy. And yeah, there's a lot more, a lot more that goes into it.
It was really cool because we got to interview Orel Hershiser, our buddy, for episode 55, which was a highly anticipated one. And we had such a good time that day. And then when he invited us to watch the pregame show, We were so excited.
Yeah, we were excited.
We got to meet Jerry Harrison junior
Mm-hmm.
and John Hartung and just watch them.
It's so funny when we introduced ourselves to John, it's like you hear his voice and you're like,
I know. I go, I recognize your voice.
I know, because it is. It's like you don't really get over that where you're like, how do I? It's like Vin. When you heard Vin anywhere, you're like, that voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really fun. Super grateful to see that. Thanks, Orel. That was such a good time.
That was a really fun day. And we just got to pick his brain. And he's so great at just guiding us and giving us advice and different ways to like transition conversations or what to do if like we're in a tougher interview.
know. They like go off live and he goes, okay, did you guys see in that? Like, so you know what I did there? Like he had said everything I was going to, and then he gives us pointers and then it's like back to live show. And I'm just sitting there like, wow. Like,
He also printed out the pages that all the guys had so we could follow along, which was really cool just to see how it's structured. And even like the conversations in between, like when they're not on air and they're like, so what are we getting for dinner? It's hot in here. And we're just like trying to be as quiet as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. They're like, are you guys hot over there? We're like, no, we're great over here. And they're like, okay, well, whatever. You want to come here instead? We're like, sure, put us in.
And they just have such great chemistry with each other.
Yeah, that was one of the things I had texted Orel when I thanked him. I was like, you guys are live and you make it look so easy. And yeah, it was great. It was a really cool.
I mean, at least here we know that we can edit something afterwards if we say something terrible, which we rarely make a lot of edits. But
right.
I was just so impressed with how quick they were, just their natural chemistry and how like one thing Orel says leads into something Jerry says, and even how like if Jerry takes a point of his, how he can like quickly just transition into something else.
Yeah. I mean, and it's so helpful because when we do our interviews at Legends Addict, which just wait, guys, we're going to drop what the new one is coming in May 30th.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's so many fun people, but it's helpful because we only get so much time. And like I said, we're always here learning and we love the rooms that we've been put in and we want to get better. And so it was cool to see a quicker show and like, you know, helps you kind of prep for that.
I know. Do you feel like you have to talk really fast?
I don't know. Am I talking really fast right now? Yeah, kind of, I guess. They have to make sure they get their point across. And it's like, yeah.
I mean,
cool.
I watch that show all the time. So now even like I'm watching it through a different lens, thinking of the studio space. And it's so beautiful.
It is. They even took us into the Laker one with the basketball hoop.
We
Can
got
we
a
get
whole
hoop?
tour.
I
We
want
got
a
to
hoop.
meet everyone. I asked them all if they were Dodger fans.
No.
I just think it's cool if you have a job that like you're really, really passionate about, and to work within the Dodgers organization somehow and actually be a Dodger fan. That's pretty special.
It's very special. That was fun. And then we went into Mother's Day. And Tony. The cat hair.
Jaclyn texted me one day. We hadn't spoken in like a couple hours. And all of a sudden I get a text and it just says, meow.
Yeah. I missed you. I figured that was just a good way to just say hi.
It made me giggle.
Yeah, I love your giggle. That was one of his best outings so far.
I think he's been great. He has such a just like easy breezy wind up throw. It's just like throw, not like anything, you know, the big leg kick or like a whole Kenley Jansen to do.
It's very just like to the point mechanics. But I had read statistically that was one of his best outings of the season. And I think that's amazing.
It was interesting to me, the order of the pitchers that came in after him. And just kind of learning about how Dave Roberts, like who he's going to put in. And I know a lot goes into those decisions and what batter they're facing. But like Jack Dreyer, Matt Sauer, I always want to call him Matt Saucer, and Ben Kasparius, like to me, those are starters and like more beginning of the game guys. And they came in after Tony. Tanner Scott did too. So I don't know. I was just like, oh, he's coming in now? Oh, now he's coming in?
I feel like it's just so consistent with that. They mold into the roles they're needing to be for the team at that moment, you know? And I think that's what's so impressive is because I believe in a team that way you get comfortable in what your role is and what it is and all that. But it's like, it's forever changing. And these guys are just adapting. Yeah, I love it. Thanks, guys.
I wonder if Ben Kasparius is going to become a starter with the extra injuries we have. He's been really great for us. I don't know I think we've said this already. I don't know what we would do without him this season so far. And I'm wondering if maybe he's going to become a starter until Snell and some of the other guys come back. Because now Roki's on the IL.
I know. So what happened with Roki?
Well, actually, Rodney just told me on the phone, gave me some inside scoop and said he's kind of been feeling it for a bit. But, I mean, think about his position. He's seeing all of our pitchers go down, so I'm sure he wants to help the team.
Yeah.
But fighting through pain, it does kind of make me understand his last couple starts, how they haven't been as good.
Mm-hmm.
So at least he's taking care of himself, and hopefully we'll come back better and stronger and with more control.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably good that it's happened when it happened. I'm sure the Dodger organization is very much stressing that if you don't feel good in any sense, like say it, you know, because that extra massage or that relief or the extra work, you know, might loosen it up just enough to get you through that game and, you know, not having to suffer. So I'm glad.
Yeah, but I don't think he even said anything.
Give him a hug
until, you know, his last start.
Yeah.
For them to even know that he was dealing with that.
Right. Bummer. But you want to know who does come back on Saturday versus the Angels?
Clayton mother effing Kershaw.
Oh my gosh. Last night, seeing him behind the plate, he's just like such a freaking statue. I'm like, the first pitch last night, I'm like, who would you want to pitch to? That was so cute. They did a Make-A-Wish. That was really cute. I love that. I think that they signed.
And Shohei, Kershaw, Mookie, and Freddie all caught the balls for the Make-A-Wish kids. And Kike.
Yeah.
That was really sweet to watch. I cannot wait for Kershaw to come back. I'm so excited for him. I just want him to do really, really well.
I just want him to do really well. I don't need him to be crazy. I don't want him to get injured. I just want him to be consistent and just like, I really want that for him.
I want him to get through 5 innings.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be at a wedding.
Damn weddings. No, just kidding.
I know I'll be following along on my phone, but
it's hard.
That's
to be
a game
present.
that I want to watch. I don't want
know.
anyone to talk to me. I want to watch Kershaw.
Even Mother's Day, it was really hard because it's like I'm trying to like, you know, be present and help, and you know, you get lost in conversation, which is amazing. That's what it's for, you know. But I definitely wasn't able to watch that game the way I really wanted to. And I get it. At a wedding, it's like as much as you want, it's gonna be hard.
Well, I'll record the game so I can watch it at a later time.
Did you see his fielding?
Oh, he was great.
Oh, he's just so athletic.
I know. And he's like, I haven't done a play like this in a while. I haven't really practiced.
Yeah, well, he's had some good rest. So I hope that he, you know,
Adam is walking away because he doesn't want to talk about Clayton Kershaw coming back because he's going to make an annoying comment that he's going to get wheeled onto the field.
Well, I don't know. After that play.
Is that why you're making extra noise back there? To drown me out?
Just preparing you for when the wheelchair does go onto the dirt and makes that rustling sound. Just preparing you for that sound.
I think he's going to be awesome. You know what's really cool? I feel like the team needs him, and he's coming through right now. And he's been in that situation for us so many times. So it's almost just like so fitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I bet he's just tired of sitting and watching. All he talks about, all he wants to do is contribute and help the team. So I'm just really, really hoping for positive outing, get through 5 innings, and just start strong.
Give him his momentum back. I know. I'm really excited for him.
Fans, you better show up for Kersh and cheer him on.
You want to know who else is stepping up for them? Who I've been given a hard time.
Did he win you over yet?
Not quite.
Okay.
But I had seen his fight. He wasn't giving up. And then I had read that people were like, he needs to go. Like, remember when you were saying that people weren't really passionate about it as much as like Muncie or something? And then within that next week, I think people started to get kind of passionate about it. Like, okay, what's happening here? And so I was like, you know what? Please, like, you're getting this. You've seen players get the same thing. You've seen them step up. Like, let's see if we could follow in that. And then last night,
3 doubles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Good
So
job,
how are you feeling
Conforto.
about Conforto?
Yeah, I'm happy for him. I want this for him. I can't lie. And just, I wanted that connection. And so he's coming back.
Okay, so him playing better is helping with your connection with him?
Yeah, and it's not even just playing better. It's more of like just making the plays when we need you to, because then it's just part of the game, and then it's exciting, and then you're excited and you're helping the team, and you're like, that's what I'm like looking for.
So if you learned his nickname, would that help?
Well, I can't tell you till I know it.
Scooter.
Scooter, why?
Not sure.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Little Scooty. Okay.
Michael Conforto. Scooter.
No, it didn't help.
He just scooted on over to second base.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. No, I'm here for it. It made it exciting. I was happy to see it because he needed it. We needed it.
Did you pick your player of the week?
I just am going to stick to my guy.
I wonder who it is.
I wonder.
We haven't talked about it. Okay, well.
Are you more decisive this week, or are you kind of?
I got it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so last night was our first time back at Dodger Stadium for a game. But last Thursday and Friday,
we've been living at Dodger Stadium, actually.
they got us an apartment.
I wish.
I wish so bad.
Jaclyn still dreams of an apartment just at Dodger Stadium, right?
Yeah.
That's what you texted me one day?
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine, like, just, when they're pissed, just like lower the blinds? Like when they're not doing well, you're like, good, and just like lower the blinds. But I just think we'd have so much fun from our window and just watching the game. Yeah.
With binoculars? Or we'd be closer than that to not need them.
Where's our apartment? At the 76th station?
Maybe with my eyes.
Yeah. No, wherever. I mean, we'll talk to Coach Mike, see if he can fit in a space for us.
Yeah. But this was my third year in a row at the Women in Sports Conference.
Yeah, this was
Dodger
my
Stadium.
first year, and I'm so glad I went. We decided to do the cocktail hour on Thursday night, which was held at the Tommy Lasorda Speakeasy. And if you haven't been in there, I kind of want to just go watch a game in there.
Yeah.
Just sit down with a nice glass of whiskey. I don't know. I feel like, do you smoke cigars in there? Like, it's such a vibe.
I would love to do that. And you can watch the guys in the bullpen.
I know, but it's like the other team, and it's like, I would much rather be sipping in a speakeasy.
We'll
watching.
troll them like Shohei did.
You want to be those girls in the window?
No, I would just be like,
fun.
hi. Good job.
So yeah, I was at the speakeasy on Thursday night and then held in the visiting bullpen. And that was alone amazing.
Yeah, the night one was really cool. It was more intimate. There weren't as many people. I was so excited to just go and also to have you with me this time, because the first time I went alone, not yet having a podcast. Second year I went with a podcast, so things to talk about, and I had the Talk Dodgers to Me bag, so it's an easy conversation starter. And that's the first time I ever introduced myself to Stan.
Oh, your second time there. Stan.
And now the third time, I get you with me.
I know.
And it made it all more fun. It really did.
Yeah. And it was what we needed, and we didn't even know.
It really was.
Yeah. We left just with such a full cup every time. Like, our hearts are...
How about you say that again? I'm sorry, I just dropped something.
What's happening back
Rookie
there?
mistake.
I'm having trouble with my dexterity while you're having trouble with your English.
Looks like I'm holding us together today, guys.
You guys know me, so you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, you were trying to say 570 and you were saying 520.
I was getting confused because we're going on the Roggin and Rodney show today at 12:20 on AM 570. I did it.
It would have been funny if you would have said 520.
Just trying real hard right now.
No, we did. We would leave with just the most full hearts and just so fueled. And I mean, I was just blown away at how many girls came up to us and were just, they've heard of our podcast. And not only have they heard of it, they're just so excited to come across it, and they relate, and they can't wait to sit down and listen. And it was a beautiful event on Thursday. And that alone was like man, what is tomorrow going to bring?
It really was amazing. We both have been just craving women energy, and it's so fun to be in this baseball space, but it's, a lot of men surrounding us, and we've just been kind of feeling and talking with each other that we want to be around more women. So this was just what we needed and more.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
And after night one, just introducing ourselves to people and people recognizing us from the podcast and just sharing what they like about it. We've been so busy lately that like I'm not even thinking about people sitting down to listen, but it like made me picture all of them just like listening to us and having fun with us. And we got to try on the World Series ring.
Oh my gosh, this ring. Oh, it was breathtaking.
From Karen.
Yeah, Karen.
That was
really
what
nice.
was
so fun about Thursday too. We got to meet the women who really put this on, and we got to like have those conversations because, and I thought I would be able to see them Friday morning, but we maybe saw spurts of them, but not, they were so busy. So I'm really glad we had that time because when we did run into them, it was like a quick little moment of but that ring, you put it on and you're like, I'm getting emotional.
One, it's really heavy, beautiful. I mean, just like shining in every direction. If you had that ring, would you let strangers try it on? You would?
I do, because, we found out from Stan that that's the ring that people wear out and about. Like the ring is nicely tucked away, is 10 times heavier, has like, and that one's tucked away. He's like, I wouldn't even. So this was the second day when we did run into Stan. We also commented on the ring. And so he handed it. And then that's when he told us.
Stan let me wear his ring, guys. And he's like, this isn't even the big one. I'm like, what?
He's like, the big one, I couldn't even wear that one around. Like that one's so heavy. So I can't even imagine. But yeah, I think that's what that ring's for. You know what I mean? It's to be able to go out and it's a piece and it's a conversation and it's a.
Do you think we're friends with Stan now?
I mean, he definitely very much remembers us.
I mean, at this point, he was watching girls come up and talk about the podcast and we're chit-chatting with him. Then he came up to us again. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool.
I mean, he knows me for my sequins tops.
Oh, and guys, we have something to tell you. If any of you are in Atlanta.
Oh, no, we can't share this yet.
We can't?
I guess. I'm being selfish.
Why? We told him we were going to tell our listeners.
I know. I just want to get all the stuff first. Guys, wait till you hear this.
Are we going to fly to Atlanta to go to this Goodwill?
Yeah, and I think that we should have dinner with Stan's wife.
Okay, let's make it happen.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
So go to Silver Springs. Isn't that what he called it? He said it was? The Silver Springs Goodwill in Atlanta has an insane Dodger area.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was saying how he sends a lot of stuff back home and all the things. And his wife is like, please just stop. Even all his grandkids and like
14 grandkids. He has.
I know. See, that's what I mean is there's so much to talk about there.
But he has such an overflow of Dodger stuff that when he sends it back home, his wife takes a lot of it to the Goodwill there. So he was telling us.
So could you imagine that Goodwill in the most random part of Atlanta? We're going and we're documenting it.
I've never been to Atlanta, so okay.
I've only drove through, but never stopped at a Goodwill.
So day 2 of the women's conference was really cool. Not cool, actually. It was piping hot. We were melting. I'm still dealing with my sunburn.
Yeah. I love the sun, and it was hot for me.
You're like, this is my jam. I love to be in the sun.
But even
I
got
Soul
red.
Boutique, and I'm like, this is my nightmare. Get me under the shade.
I know. I will say there should be a few more umbrellas. But it was a beautiful event. I mean, I don't know. There's probably so many reasons why they can't have a big white tent out there. Maybe, I don't know.
What's the reason?
I mean, we're on the field, so maybe because
Guys,
the turnaround.
We saw Tyler and Blake.
We did say Tyler and Blake playing catch.
I don't even think they were playing catch. They were just like doing motions.
Oh.
And then they hugged. We watched the moment. Then we watched them go into the dugout.
And of course, our girl. Hey, Tyler.
Why not? He was just like,
Hey, come on the pod. Yeah.
I really loved. Okay, so what was really cool, if any of you listened to or watch Scandal or like Grey's Anatomy, the Shondaland shows, Katie Lowes, who played Quinn on Scandal, I watched it.
Okay.
Have you?
I would watch bits and pieces. My parents were super into the show, but
I loved it.
this was an era of my life where I wasn't really sitting down watching TV as much. I was like out a lot, but
I watched the whole series during the pandemic.
oh, okay.
But Katie Lowes was one of the guest speakers, and she started it off with the vice president of Shondaland, who what a journey she's had.
What a story. She took every route and just made it her own. And, you know, her biggest thing was do it for more than yourself. When you join things, make it a bigger picture than just for yourself. And like, that's when the community happens and the growth happens. And like, and it's so true. It's so true. I mean, I know people say that, but like, you know, she gave such great examples from start to finish of her journey of how she's made a right and she made it happen. And then she realized that she didn't need that anymore and figured out a different way. And it was just like, and that it's truly what you have to do.
Yeah, it's really inspiring. I feel like I've taken so many pivots and it hasn't always made me feel the best about myself. And it's like questioning. So to hear someone else's journey and how they're really, you know, she was so decisive and did what she needed to do in that moment in time for her and for her family and for her kids, but then also changing direction when that's not what they needed at that time anymore. You know, one of her first jobs was like at a theater program. And then when she had kids, she couldn't afford to put them in nursery school. So
in daycare.
So she started working at the daycare.
There's not enough hours where she could be away and afford the daycare. And like, there was all this. So yeah, then she ended up just working for the daycare, and then not only working for the daycare, but like taking it to a whole different level and growing this daycare to be very sought after. And their programs were on it. And then she just duplicated and repeated.
And then her kids didn't need to go there anymore.
Right.
So she took another pivot and ended up working for Mindy Weiss, who is the most successful event planner in LA. That brought her journey to LA. That started her right when Shondaland first started, where she went back and was a PA
at 40.
And if for anyone that doesn't know, a PA is like the one doing everything, doing all the car runs, right, Adam? Do you want to explain what a PA is? That's when I met you. I was the receptionist and you were the PA.
Yeah, PAs look different for different things, but when I was a PA, I got groceries and I did runs and I took papers to people back and forth. And
Drove all over the place, right?
It made me hate the city of Los Angeles because of traffic.
Yeah.
That's when I first met Adam.
That's so great.
And he trained me. We'll get into that another day. But I was just really inspired by her. Her name was Sandy, and she was so inspiring. I believe when she started as a PA, it was for event planning, which then like made her work in the art department and do more of creative stuff, which kind of like tied everything she had done over the course of her like 20-year career already to then set her up for becoming like a co-director of the show. And I believe now she's the vice president of Shondaland.
I know.
It's really incredible.
It was incredible. It was inspiring. And I think one of the biggest things that I really took for her is that she like speaking to women, and, you know, she said so many different nuggets of how she has gotten past being a woman in this industry. And I think that really resonated with us because we're trying to find that balance. I mean, you know,
I want to check just the notes that I wrote while listening to her.
Yeah, just the balance of, you know, becoming that strong businesswoman and also staying soft and feminine because that's who we are too. And it's just like this, you know, so it was nice to hear from women of that stature talking about.
Remember, she said a couple quotes. One of the questions was like, what is your mantra or what are quotes you live by? And I wrote down a couple that I'll just share. Being a leader is not being in charge. It's about taking care of the people in your charge.
I really liked that one.
I really liked that too. And then, you know, it's not your job to dim your light to make someone else comfortable. That really resonated with me too. Like shine as bright as you possibly can. And don't let anyone being negative take you down.
Totally. But it also tells me it's like everything is about keeping yourself confident with also not making that like a cockiness and still pouring into the people and leading the people for the whole bigger picture. It's like, it's beautiful because that's ultimately what we want is to lead people and it to be this energy where people feel loved and welcomed and all this, but within yourself feel that too.
And it's really easy to listen to these quotes and things like that and hear them. It's harder to actually feel them and do them. And that takes a lot of working on yourself and liking yourself to loving yourself and knowing yourself, you know?
Yeah. No,
that's kind of the journey of life.
Like, apparently.
But it's great when you've got a partner that helps you shine bright and
Always.
wants you to.
We need that. There's just days where you just need that extra support. You know, a lot of people were saying that it's so fun to find people in business who are very opposite of you and you when that person and this. But I feel so many similarities with you when we're out and about, which is actually so great because when I'm needing to still do it, we need to almost do the same thing. And sometimes we don't feel like it. And it's nice to have the other person pick up the slack a little.
Yes.
And then it puts you back in that zone. And it's a safe, fun place. And I love that we have each other to be able to do that because it's been draining and it's been a lot. But yeah.
Yeah, it was so much fun just to walk around with you and do our thing and meet people and have people come up and talk about the podcast. There was a really nice woman, Carrie, who came up and just like really left me speechless and with tears in my eyes, just saying she's been listening to the podcast from the beginning and just admires what we're doing. It really means a lot. And I think lately it's just been kind of a roller coaster and we've been dealing with a lot of things that maybe we'll get into at a later time. But I think we've needed kind of that boost.
Yeah.
More than I have in a very long time. So I just appreciate it so much. And to know that what we're doing is resonating with people means everything. And it really, you know, after we left, like I think we just kind of looked at each other, acknowledging what just happened. And it's like, this is why we're doing what we're doing. And it really brings a greater purpose to it. And it gives me so much motivation to keep going and to also figure out how we can just connect with these women listening even more.
Yeah, I mean, look, we love to talk baseball and we love to laugh and it be fun and lighthearted and all the things, but we also love having real conversations and we love having a space where people can talk to us about that. And we've gotten into that here. And I think people have enjoyed kind of getting a little bit of an insight of like where we're at. And, you know, was what like the more, it wasn't just like, oh my gosh, I just love hearing you guys talk about baseball. And it's like, it's such a fun and go Dodgers. And that's all great. But it was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm sitting down with my best friends at a bar and it's like, you guys are touching this topic, which makes me feel, and then it's like fun because we're talking baseball and it's like, it's touching more than just like the superficialness of what this could be. And I think that's what really hit us.
Absolutely. I mean, someone came up and was like, I lost a sibling last year, and listening to you talk about, you know, the loss you've been through and the grief. Sometimes I wonder if it's too much for people to handle. And that's something that I live with in my life. Like, this is my story and this is what I've been through. So I wonder if it's too much for people to hear. So just to get that back was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when she came up to you and I was like, I was talking to someone else and the conversation was dying down, but I saw your face and then I was getting little snippets of what she was saying. And I like was drawn because it's like she just was speaking so much life and love into the things that are so raw. And it was really nice to hear that. I was blown away. So many girls came up. I just found you on TikTok. I can't believe I didn't know about you. Like,
support.
I know.
You never know. I feel like, you know, in high school and you're in college and beginning in LA, girls don't always support girls. You know, it's jealousy and insecurity. And it's really, you don't know what someone else is going through and what they're projecting onto you. And I think now, like, we're both secure in our own skin. But just to be met with only support from everyone there was a really beautiful thing and just so refreshing.
Totally. I think if anything to take coming from that is like, we really want to kind of keep the community going. Like not it, that was a huge event and it was so beautifully and well put on. And, but like, I don't know, ladies, do we want to do some watch parties? Do we want to get together and like, maybe do some, more hanging out? We can hang out with us live, watch a game.
I'd love that.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Comment, message us, let us know.
Yeah.
It also is really cool to see what jobs exist. My favorite quote, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know that there's all these different types of jobs within the sports industry or whatever you're interested in.
Yeah.
So going to an event like this and seeing different panels of different women and what they do, my panel was someone works for Nike. One woman who is going to come on the podcast, she does the global brand deals and helps make the Dodgers money.
Yeah. Like what?
And, another woman worked at Clutch Sports.
Yeah.
Just so many different opportunities. I know the panel you went
Sujo.
to.
I had a few agencies. I had Yahoo Sports. And then I had this one really cool one who works in K-pop in the music industry.
How cool.
And they're tapping, like the biggest part for her being there was them tapping into obviously growing their market and like tapping into the sports world and tapping into the market that's here. And they were like, Sujo was like, if you guys can get to Dodger Stadium for a K-pop event, she goes, it is unreal. She made me like we have to make it happen.
That would be so fun.
I know. It was really cool. It was really cool to hear. Sujo was really just kind of, hosting the panel in a lot of ways, but she would drop little nuggets. And it's funny, I got up and I asked a question, but it's like, I'm looking at her because it's like she's just
the familiar face.
Well, and a goat. Like she,
know.
She puts out like just insanely crisp social media for the Dodgers.
Also the best captions.
And she goes, I don't have a day off. I'm like, I really want her on. I want to know more about the woman behind the camera, behind the captions. Like I would love to dive into that more. Yeah.
I hope we can make that happen.
But the panel was beautiful. I learned a lot. I was actually really impressed at the amount of senior high school girls that were there who are going into these industries.
What about the woman who wants us to go to her college kids class?
The economics
She's
class?
like, my class would love it if you guys came. She goes, do you know economics? We're like,
I know. I was like, what do you want us to talk about? And she goes, well, do you guys know anything about economics? And I'm like, well, I can do a refresher. Oh my gosh. She won the first night.
She won the Decorte bag.
Skincare.
I thought maybe because of that whole grand prize that I got taken away, that some luck would come. Because they were giving away a lot.
I cannot let go of you not getting that grand prize. It's not even about the prize, but I just really don't think that organization would be very happy if they knew that somebody who won the prize there got it taken away for something that was not your fault.
What do you want me to do about it?
I don't know. I just really feel like you need to be gifted something.
I'm just going to move past it. And like I said last week, one door closes, another opens. I'm sure something amazing is in store.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to find out.
Well, we thought it was going to be the first night when they were giving away all those
like, oh, I'm
prizes.
gonna win.
And she goes, didn't get my trip, but I'm going to get something. I swear, no matter who we stood next to, that person got their name called.
Which means we're closer to having something good happen.
Okay, I'm here for it. I'm glad that we could bring good energy to the person next to us.
I kept telling the girl that won the skincare because she didn't even care about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so great, going on and on, thinking maybe, I don't know. She's like, oh, you want it? But
I was hoping. I mean, even a serum. I'll take a cream.
A sample.
Oh my gosh.
When I first moved to LA and had no money, but had high taste in skincare, I've always been like, that's what I spend money on. Like my sister, clothes. Me, skincare. I would go around to different department stores to get La Mer products because that was like, in my eyes, the best of the best.
Right.
And that's what all the celebrities wore. And just be like, oh, I'd really like to try out this product, pretending I never had. And they'd give you like a whole handful of samples. So I'd use them, and when the samples ran out, I'd go to another Nordstrom or Bloomingdale's and do it all over again. I did that for years.
Do they sell Otani's skincare? What's it called again?
Décolleté.
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 Do they sell that? I want some samples.
Do you like how they do like 3 different celebrations?
Oh, they're like...
the Freddie, the hip hop, and then the new Shohei. They got a lot going on.
They do. I miss Teo.
Really miss
And
Teo.
Tommy.
I know.
We didn't get to see the Comet last night.
We didn't see Comet.
They didn't get on base for him to run. No one got on base for him to run.
Well, he wasn't playing.
Well, I know, but I'm sure he might have been put in for like a pinch hitter or something, or
Maybe.
pinch runner.
Okay, you want to do player of the week?
Okay.
While we're waiting.
Guys, I know we forgot last week.
Oh, yeah, we forgot.
So we're going to be better about that because we got asked a lot and we're sorry, but...
We immediately stopped recording and we were like, oh, wait, we forgot to do player of the week.
So this week, what do you want to do? Let's do the 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Ohtani.
Oh, okay.
I got to go with my boy.
Can you believe Shohei has not been player of the week yet?
And honestly, he's player of the week every week, really.
Have you seen Freddie?
No, Freddie, yeah. And that's what's so hard. I mean, of course. I'm not even, when I choose my player of the week, I'm not hating on someone else.
No, I know. But it wasn't just that Freddie got a home run on Mother's Day for his mother in heaven, which is a really special thing. He was hitting homers left and right the last week.
That's probably why they put him into the batting 4th or 5th last night.
4th.
Yeah.
Well, Will Smith has been really good too.
Totally. But he's been hitting homers. So obviously they're going to put him in more of a cleanup spot. They want
True.
the most people on base that we possibly can before.
He struck out twice yesterday, which he's not a player that strikes out a lot.
No, but he also got walked.
True. So did Shohei.
So, yeah, I think Freddie they're all my players of the week.
Will Smith was in my running.
Will Smith has been amazing.
He has been really good, but
he's so fun to watch behind the plate. I mean, batting is great and he's been showing up, but he's still just the best catcher in the league. His arms, his throw, it's just like, pew.
He got out Corbin Carroll at second in the D-back series. I love that. I love when he gets guys out at second stealing.
Yeah. But Ohtani, I like seeing that fight a little.
I loved it.
It was very Joe Kelly sass.
It really was. It was just the perfect trolling, the perfect respectful trolling.
And the other player was like, oh, of course you're not going to, because he's just the golden boy of the league. It's like, that's because he's just a nice human being consistently. Like, don't act like he doesn't have any,
was
fight in
hating
him.
on Shohei?
Yuri.
He was?
Yeah, that was the quote he put out.
He said what?
That basically that was mean, and that the league will never acknowledge that as being mean because it was the golden boy who did it. I was like, sounds like someone's hating.
Yeah, that doesn't really seem mean to me.
No, but
that's baseball.
That's baseball.
It's a competitive
just
baseball.
because it's coming from Ohtani, it's like he needs to be nicer about it.
He's just mad that Shohei did it in the best way possible.
Well,
he probably wished he was meaner to get mad, but he has no reason to get mad. Well,
either way, you lost the game.
We got to call into Roggin and Rodney in 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Oh, great. Well,
talk Dodgers to me. All right, guys, we're back from just going on the Roggin and Rodney show. That was fun.
That was so fun.
Were you nervous?
I wasn't really nervous. I like seeing people's faces. So it's interesting to just be having a phone call, but it's like a whole production. But that's radio, baby.
Yeah. I recognize their voices too. I forgot to tell them that one time I called in and I was the runner-up to win free Dodger tickets.
You're always the runner-up.
What the hell?
I have a feeling it's going to flip, and I'm so glad I'm here to see it happen.
You know what I had to do when I called? They were having everyone pretend to be... That one I would have won. No, they were having everyone call in and pretend to do the call of a Freddie Freeman home run.
Oh.
Wait, guys. I brought Vin's call into it. Like, you know, Freddie Meet Gibby. I said something about like, and it's the most improbable, you know? I really went for it.
Yeah. I want to hear this. I wonder if they have the recording still.
We'll have to ask.
That's so good.
But I think we did well.
I think we did
Eddie
great.
just walked in. Did you listen to us on Roggin and Rodney?
No,
What?
I was in a meeting.
We were just on.
I know.
We're just closing out our episode right now.
Sorry.
No,
That's
you're
okay.
good.
You guys hear about Austin Barnes?
Yes, we just found out on the radio.
The Dodgers just sent
Don't
something
you
out.
laugh,
Why are you
Adam.
laughing?
No laughing. How do they DFA Austin Barnes right before Clayton Kershaw's start?
Well, they think of him
Talking
as
to the microphone, Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie, come on in.
Please, come on in.
Sorry.
We're recording, but now it's a party. Guys, Christian just walked in now.
The live reaction
Eddie, give us your thoughts.
on Austin Barnes.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing? Why is this
Because he talks
thinks
crap
that
on
he's
Austin Barnes.
Is another wheelchair player.
funny?
I know.
It's sad. It's sad because obviously you got the championships, and if you talk to Mookie Betts, they wanted to, if they ever brought back the C for the uniforms, they said they would give it to Austin Barnes because he's truly the captain, and he's got a long post career.
How do you think Kersh
one of
is taking the news?
One of the brilliant minds, and I don't know. I think Kersh is he's going to be focused on making a grand appearance on Saturday. And if you heard Orel on ESPN today, he's talking about I don't think he's going to have a pitch count. I think he's ready to go, and you know, so it's going to be fun.
You know that Kershaw didn't talk to the front office for 6 months when they traded AJ Ellis. So I'm wondering how pissed he is about this Austin Barnes move and how they handled it.
I just think there's so many. Orel said it again on ESPN today. There's so many good prospects.
They brought
at
up
the
Dalton
Dodgers.
Rushing.
Yeah, they brought up Dalton Rushing, and you know, I think it's about time. So I'm
I'm
sure
just-
I'm sure there's plans for Austin to be a part of the organization in some capacity moving forward. So we'll see.
Yeah, I
wish him well.
guess.
I like Austin Barnes. I really do.
Me
and he's
too.
great in
I
the
just
clubhouse.
wonder how it's going to affect the clubhouse culture because they talk about him being the captain.
They do. Oh, I can't wait to hear what Mookie says. But it's funny. The Dodgers already made a nice social media post tributing to.
They
the
did
man.
already?
Yeah.
Gosh.
They broke the news to us right before we went on Roggin and Rodney. I'm glad they told us and we didn't actually learn on air.
Because we were
Austin?
speechless.
I know. Well, on
Well,
that
Arizona
note,
State, Riverside, born.
I bet he'll be working with the Dodgers organization.
I hope so.
Maybe he'll be a coach.
You know, maybe the Cubs need a catcher.
Thanks for the appearance, Eddie.
Thanks, Eddie.
Well, we're
Maybe
gonna,
they were working with Austin to make this happen. Maybe this was one of his choices and this is the way that it's phased out. I don't know.
I feel a little
There's no
heartbroken for
way
him.
that they're going to mess up chemistry, and there's no way they didn't
But
do it right.
Right before Kershaw's start?
I
That's
mean,
the interesting part, the timing of it.
mhm.
Well, until next week, where we'll try and learn more about it and let you know.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever learn about the labor laws?
No,
Oh,
I haven't had time.
okay.
Had to, just keep watching baseball and go to all these events with you.
Yeah.
Maybe Adam learned.
It sounds like you're complaining.
No, I think
We're cutting
I
this.
had to go to all these baseball games and watch them and then go to all these events with you. It's just like I don't have time for anything.
Actually, instead of learning about the labor laws, I've been listening to the book The Arm. And my perspective on pitching and the injuries has completely changed, but I'm going to wait for you to read it so we can discuss it.
okay.
So coming up, we have an interview with the president of the Women's Health Association, and she also is the COO of the CHA Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital.
Wow.
She was a really incredible woman, the best energy.
I mean, I felt like I was at a women's event again, and I was just getting inspired. And I'm really excited for the event this Friday. We really weren't sure what to expect, and after talking to her, cannot wait to share all the things we experienced because it was amazing.
Yeah, so tune in for the end of the episode for Tricia Gray. I wasn't exactly sure how we would tie in our Dodgers podcast with a healthcare organization, but when you align on just healthcare, women, supporting women, empowering women,
It was
I mean,
pretty
that's all you
easy.
need.
It feels very seamless.
and it made me even more excited for the event on Friday. And so I'm just excited for our listeners to learn how they can get involved. If you have any interest in working in healthcare or anything like that, looking for any type of mentor,
Yeah, stay tuned. We're going to put all of the links and everything on how to get to the organization, and we're probably going to talk about it a lot more. I'm assuming Friday we're going to be extremely inspired.
and looking great in our dresses for the gala.
Go Dodgers.
What?
Go Dodgers.
You said it for me.
Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. Good luck, Austin Barnes. Talk Dodgers to me.
Well,
So
again,
excited for Friday.
yes, I am super excited. So I hope you got your dresses. I hope you got your gowns. I hope you got your outfit together.
Actually, I'd like to know what you're wearing.
Well, I'm doing a little bit of a hybrid. So I'm integrating kind of glitz and glamour gown with a little bit of edge. So I actually I'm wearing this dress. I actually ordered this dress from Macy's that I thought was super cute because the bottom half of the dress is actually gown-like-esque, if you will. And the top is like this,
Wow.
it's like a white tuxedo top. And it even has a cummerbund. So I thought it was super cute. So it's not over the top in terms of kind of formal gala, and it has a
Right.
spice to it. So I'm
'Cause
actually
the
doing
business aspect definitely like kind of was like, okay, how do we do this?
Now I feel like what I got is
too low key.
yeah, I got
Okay, what do you have? That's
jumpsuit.
the question. What do you have?
I found this pretty white jumpsuit that I was gonna dress up, but now I feel like I gotta go get a gown.
No, please don't go get a gown because we've got the beauty of the WHA galas is it's not necessarily a specific attire. So because we're very much so inclusive, if you're feeling like wearing a suit, you can wear a suit. If you want to wear a nice romper with some cute heels, you can also do that. And if you want to spruce it up and wear a gown, you can wear a gown.
Totally.
I love that. That's what I love about
really-
LA, actually. I feel like whatever you're in the mood for, dress up, dress down.
Yeah, as long as you go in with confidence and like edginess, you can rock it.
You can rock a pair of blue jeans at a gala. Well, not at this gala, but you can rock a pair of blue jeans in a gala if you show up with confidence. So, and then I'm going to spice it up just a little bit with some, what I would call olive green, open toe. So it'll be super, super cute. So come however you feeling on Friday. If you want to be super dressy, come that way. If you want to dress it down a bit with a hint of, I'll call trend, you could do that as well. So come one, come all.
Well, you're the president, so whatever you say. But
It's
Tricia,
what
we're
I
so happy
say,
to
right?
have you
What I
on
say.
Talk Dodgers to me today.
Yes.
And can you please just tell us a little bit about your role with the organization and all that you guys are doing?
Absolutely. And thank you for the opportunity to just kind of speak to who WHA is. I'll always start by saying we've been around since 1980. I haven't been with WHA since 1980, but WHA has been a not-for-profit professional association in the Southern California market since 1980. So we are a women-run professional association, and our vision is basically to advance women in healthcare leadership. And our view is if we are serving a very diverse community, specifically women, we need to make sure we have women at the head of the table. Women need to have a seat at the table in the decision-making process. So it's important that we elevate our women, that we promote women empowerment, that we provide the women the support, the tools, the resources they need in order to advance. So WHA ranges from an early careerist, a college student, whether you're in undergrad or a graduate program, all the way to C-suite members. So by evening, I serve as the president for WHA, but by day, I serve as the COO for Child Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center. So
Wow.
we've got a wide range of, I'll call them young sisters to more of the seasoned sisters who serve in the WHA space. So it's super exciting because we seek to develop resources and tools for every woman. We want to address the needs of the total woman. So again, if you're a college student and you're looking for a mentor, you're looking for tools and resources to set you up for success, or if you're more of a seasoned executive woman who is looking to give back to the community, we got it for you. Whatever you're looking for, we got it. 3 of our core values is community, sisterhood, and diversity. We live it, we breathe it, we are it. WHA is all about legacy, and I always say it's not about us having a seat at the table, but it's about us making sure that our sisters coming behind us have a seat at the table.
Wow. You know, we
That's very
just
inspiring.
so inspiring. We just did the women's event at Dodger Stadium, and you know, we walked away, and I don't care who we talked to, whether it was like a keynote or just another girl attending. We were just so touched and so honored to be around this woman energy. And I can't believe that we now get to go do it again on Friday.
Mhm.
And that just
We
makes us
really
so.
have been like craving. We love being in the sports world, and we've got a lot of men around us, and they're all great and supportive. But we've been really like craving women energy, and I feel like we've immersed ourselves in it last week, and then this came up, and I'm like, I don't know how we're a Dodger podcast, and how we can kind of make this work, but we're so aligned in like the values you're talking about, and just wanting to help the next girl coming behind us. And something that's been really cool to come out of the podcast is with the different guests we've had on, our listeners, you know, they're all over the place in what they do. And we've been able to help connect them with people for either a mentorship, or we found someone to connect with one of our listeners who now works for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, wow.
So I'm wondering, for the people listening, how could they get involved if they want to be in the healthcare industry, for a mentor or something like that?
Absolutely. So we actually have, I'll call it a subsection of WHA's governing board, and it's a committee, and it's called Programs Council. So what we sought to do was, not only do we focus on hosting events, we focus on networking, we focus on professional development, and we also focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we want to make sure, again, every woman, regardless of age, race, background, cultural beliefs, we want to make sure every woman has a seat at the table. So in order for us to advance women in healthcare leadership, we needed to make sure that we offered the services and the value to the community. So one of the committees we've developed just in 2024 is called Programs Council. Programs Council is a specific group of women, young women, graduate women who come together to develop programs for the aspiring executive healthcare woman. So again, it can be a mentoring, it can be training virtually and face-to-face that's offered by some of our supporters in our community collaboratives. So we just want to make sure that we provide adequate tools and resources for women who are aspiring to move into the healthcare leadership roles. So most of our board members serve as mentors for a lot of the young women in WHA. We have committees where we provide some of that face-to-face, real-time coaching, growing, developing the women, because the goal is one day I will age out of WHA. It will be time for me to pass the baton to younger sisters coming behind me. There will be a younger woman who serves as the board chair. So what are we doing? What is our legacy? What is the call to action on behalf of WHA in terms of succession planning? So we welcome graduate students, undergraduate students, early careerists, mid-careerists, executive women who have goals and aspirations, and frankly, who align with the mission, vision, and the values of WHA. So we have created a pathway that no matter the woman, no matter where she is in terms of the stage of her career, there is a place for her. So we've got a wealth of resources that we provide.
Wow, that's amazing.
Amazing, and also necessary.
Yeah.
It's necessary. It's necessary. And one other thing I will say, I'll call you sisters because that's how we refer to each other.
Absolutely.
So one thing that I will say that we've been having a lot of conversation around, and so just to kind of dovetail into what we can expect for from this Friday's event, obviously we're honoring, recognizing, we're giving a legacy award to a couple of I'll call them trailblazer sisters who've been around for a long time and who's done a really good job at creating a pathway for us. But then we have the breakout panel discussion, right? And that's where we're super excited, or equally excited, because we're bringing past WHA honorees to the table. And you're talking about representation from Providence, from Cedars-Sinai, from all of the big box healthcare brands, I would say. So you're bringing all these women, CHLA, you're bringing these women together to have a conversation about the advancement and how we revolutionize what healthcare looks like. So I am just super excited about the opportunity, not just to network with our sisters and kind of talk about what what's going on in terms of the evolution of healthcare, but it is going to be our responsibility to really create a space for the sisters coming behind us. We can't just talk about the importance of sitting at the table. A, we have to make sure we have a seat at the table, but B, what are we saying when we get to the table? And so the message that we have has to be consistent. We have to be firm. And frankly, we need to plant our red bottom heels in the sand
Amen,
and make ourselves clear. So again, I'm super excited about the panel discussion because I think it's really going to create an opportunity for us to start to think outside of the box, right? What is the call to action? Not just if you're a woman in healthcare, but at a woman in general. We need to be speaking the same message. We need to be clear on our wants and expectations. And frankly, we need to be walking in unison. We need to serve as a sisterhood. We got to be a community. And that's the legacy.
Yeah.
Wow, mic drop.
I know.
Bam.
I'm so excited to just learn from everyone at this event and then like report back to our listeners and tell them everything that we've learned.
Yeah,
I'm just so excited for the opportunity to be a part of it and to talk to you and to attend on Friday, and just I'm sure we're just going to take away so much.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of energy. And one thing that I will say that I forgot to note, the reason why this year's event, we do this event for the most part every year, we recognize a woman, Woman of the Year. This year is going to be super important. I'll call it super monumental or a banner year for us, because WHA has gone through a significant amount of evolution in terms of our brand, in terms of how we show up in the community. I mentioned to you earlier, WHA started in 1980. So we've been around a really long time. But in 2024, we really focused on changing our image. Because if we're an all-inclusive women's professional association, we need to look like we are welcoming and inclusive of all women, whether you're young or a little more seasoned. So we wanted to create a brand that represented the rebirth of WHA. So our logo is a lotus flower. And so we all know that the lotus flower symbolizes rebirth, strength, perseverance, resilience. So this is going to be a banner year for us, because this is actually the first year we celebrate a Woman of the Year in the new brand. So that's another reason why we brought all of the past honorees together. We're doing a Lifetime Achievement Award, and we're doing I'll call it the Standard Woman of the Year Gala, because this is actually the culmination of all the work that we've done over the past years to get the new look, the feel of who the new women in healthcare leadership are.
That's so cool. Wow, what an amazing job you've done, and everyone there to make this happen. Yes. I love what you said about the rebirth. I can very much relate to that. Yeah. I think both of us can.
Yeah, and think about, and I won't get on my soapbox because I am extremely passionate when it comes to women. But what I will say is the lotus flower, it was so appropriate for us, because again, we talk about how long WHA has been around. We really wanted to focus on a rebirth and the transformation of WHA. So kind of changing of the guards, if you will. So this event really, it showcases the past, the present, and the future. So we're bringing all of the past honorees, all the future leaders. We're bringing all of these women and supporters in one room. Just think about how powerful that's going to be. We've got a woman who the Lifetime Achievement Award is going to Dr. Rhoda Weiss. She was actually one of the founding sisters of WHA in 1980, of which It was probably about 5 or 6 women. She is one of the only sisters still alive. And if you can imagine a group of women coming together in 1979 to have a conversation about how to empower women and position them for success in healthcare leadership, and fast forward now, look at how far we've come.
I mean, you said the perfect word, powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Like just plain powerful. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so excited. We really weren't sure what to expect, and we were going in with just open hearts. We're kind of getting plopped in. We're like leaving things open, and it's fulfilling us. And so we're excited, and now even more so.
Well, I also
Good.
feel like when, people are meant to meet sometimes. And so sometimes I wonder, this person was introduced to me. I wonder where this is going to go.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about that. And I know with our sponsorship, they're donating 4 tickets to a Dodger game, and we're donating 4 of our Talk Dodgers to Me bags because you need a clear bag to get into the stadium.
Gotta
So
get a clear
I
bag.
have to ask you, are you following the Dodgers at all? Are you a sports fan?
You know what? I gotta show my hand. I am not a sports. Well, let me take that back. Let me qualify with this. I am not a baseball fan, but I am a diehard football fan. So does
Okay.
that qualify for? Does that kind of get
Yeah.
me in the space?
Well, you know what that tells
athleticism?
me? Then you would love our podcast.
Absolutely.
Two
Absolutely.
girls talking baseball. It's
You know
like
what?
an easy way in.
And I would ask you all, why baseball, why sports? Like, how did you get into this space? Because I got to tell you, it's pretty rock star to see 2 sisters sitting in that space having conversations about what has primarily typically been a male dominant field.
Yeah, I was born and raised here in LA, and so the Dodgers and the Lakers have always been, we didn't have a football team for years, my generation. So I didn't really, unless other than USC and UCLA, I didn't really hold on to a team. And it was so in my household, it was the Dodgers and the Lakers. And it's a time that it's family, and I played sports, so I can feel the competitive. And I don't know, just something about this team just has held on to my heart, and it's just been a huge, now working in it, it's just a dream come true, honestly.
That is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, for me, I come from a family of sports fans. So I grew up with, every TV had a sports game on. But when I moved to LA, I'm originally from New Jersey. I started going to Dodger games and learning about the team and the organization and the culture and how they treated the players, how they treated the wives. And that really made me fall in love with them. And now, 14 years later, it's interesting. I was thinking about just the connection when I was talking to Diane yesterday. And what really made me start the podcast was losing 2 family members unexpectedly at very early ages. And my cousin Justin was 39 and had cancer, but was in remission. And then my aunt, if she had gotten any blood test or gone to a doctor, she might still be alive today. So that is another reason that I'm really excited to be involved and meet all of you amazing women to promote women's health.
Yeah.
And to go to your doctor appointments, check in with your family members, and make sure that we're all taking care of ourselves. Because I was in a very sad place losing them, and kind of escaped into baseball more than I ever had in my life. And I saw a Women in Sports event pop up on my computer. I signed up, went to Dodger Stadium, and got the handle Talk Dodgers to me because that's all I wanted to talk about. And now here we are, about a year and a couple of months later. Jaclyn and I met through the Dodger community. We were both 2 women starting businesses in this world. And we held on to each other for dear life with just support and just this instant connection and friendship that has been such a beautiful thing that it's become way more fun to do this together.
That's amazing. And that is an example of sisterhood, right? So basically, what I heard you say, beautiful and well said, is you took a bad situation, kind of like, basically what you've done was you've taken a bad situation, a traumatic situation, and you've used it for positive, which is what most of the women typically do. We all have a story, right? We all have, I'll call it a cross to bear. But what we do is we take what life has given us, and we have the ability, because of the strength and the resilience, somehow, some way, we find a way to create a positive. That is the lotus flower. We grow in muddy, swampy waters, and yet the petals are clean, they're pure, they're gentle, they're absolutely beautiful. So that is exactly what you have done.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much. I don't always, I tell a different version of why I started the podcast, depending on who I'm talking to. So you got the real version.
It's the connection. You feel the connection.
Yeah.
What other questions can I answer for you all?
I mean, unless there's like more that our listeners can benefit from learning about or just how to get involved, ways that they can help themselves learning more about healthcare.
Absolutely.
If you can speak to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I will say, and thank you for that, what I'll say is you don't necessarily have to be in healthcare to support the work that we're doing. And I think you just proved it. You can be in a totally different industry and still be able to support and partner with us. Because while you may not necessarily be a woman in the healthcare leadership space, you still have family. You still have a mom. You may have a sister. You may have a daughter or a father who will benefit from equitable quality healthcare in the community. And what I always say is a multidisciplinary team makes for a strong team. We don't want groupthink in a room. We want women who look like me. We want women who are tall, who are shorter, who are thicker, who are skinnier, who are brighter, who are darker, who come from different ethnic backgrounds. That is representation of what our communities look like. And so the more diversity we can get at the table, the more representation we have from women at the table, the more we're able to speak on behalf of our community. So whether you are in the athletic space, whether you're in the healthcare space, there's still a seat at the table for us. There's still a commonality that exists because fundamentally, what is most important is the human connection. So what I would say is, if you're interested in getting involved, if you're interested in knowing more about WHA, I would say feel free to reach out to us because we're everywhere. We're all over social media, especially LinkedIn. We tend to live in the LinkedIn space.
Okay.
So we're very active. But again, even if you're not in the healthcare space, there is always an opportunity for us to collaborate with other women and other members of the community. That's really important for us.
Great. And we'll put all of the information, website, LinkedIn, social media, all in our show notes. So I'll ask you for that after. But this has been so lovely chatting with you. I'm glad we got to meet you before Friday.
I know.
And now I'm
Yes.
so excited for the event and I'm finding a new outfit.
You know what? I was just going to ask you, are you going to go with what you have or are you going to go with something different?
I don't know. I think I feel more comfortable getting funky with it and letting my personality shine.
How
on
cute
people.
is
I
that?
think we'll
Yeah.
get ready together and see what we're feeling that day.
See what you're feeling. Lovely, lovely. There are no right or wrong answers. It just depends on who you are as a woman and what you're feeling that particular day. So come as you are.
I love it. I love it.
Thank
Well,
you.
Tricia, again, thank you so much for coming on and speaking to our Talk Dodgers to Me listeners. Maybe you'll win the Dodger tickets.
Maybe. Thank you, sisters. I appreciate it.
We'll
Thank
see you on
you.
Friday.
See you Friday. See you then. Have a good one.
You
All
too.
right,
bye.
Bye.